in flames when I opened my front door. Boxes upon boxes were lined inside, and in the middle of them sat my mother. A bottle of wine was half empty beside her as she sat in her silk bathrobe. Tears coated her face, but when she saw me, a bright smile was forced out. "Hey, honey." Hiccup. "How are you?" I let the door go and it slammed shut behind me. "What happened?" "Oh," she gave me a dismissive wave. "Nothing. You don't need to worry about a thing." "Worry about what?" "We're going to be fine." I hadn't moved. My purse still hung from my arm. "Mom, what happened?" Boxes were everywhere, even in the kitchen. I saw 2 empty wine bottles in the sink. "You and me, honey, we're going to be just fine." "Where's Dad?" Her hands froze. She'd been taping up a box, but she sucked in her breath and held still. "Mom?" She finished the rest of her wine, and she almost fell backwards from the effort. When she set the bottle aside, I asked again, "Mom, what's going on?" She started sobbing. "Oh, honey, I'm so sorry about this, I really am." "Mom, what's going on?" "I fell in love with someone else and we're leaving your father." She hiccuped again and swiped at some of her tears. "What?" She took a deep breath. "We're leaving your father." My insides screamed at her. My hands curled into fists and I wanted to launch myself at her. I wanted to pound the hell out of her. But I didn't do any of that. Instead, I collapsed on one of the couches, and I listened to everything she said. She'd fallen in love with someone else. She wanted to be with him. She told Dad, he kicked us out, and tomorrow we were going to move in with this boyfriend of hers. "Who?" "Huh?" She lifted tear-stained eyes to me. "Who?" A soft sob, and she whispered, "James Kade." "James Kade?" She nodded and wiped her arm over her face. "He has 2 boys your age, honey. You might know them." Know them? Everyone knew them. Mason and Logan Kade. While they were rich, their dad owned 5 of the factories that our town thrived on, they chose to go to public school. Everyone knew the Kade brothers. They could have gone to the private school where most of the rich kids went, or where I went because my dad was the football coach. But they'd shaken everything up when they chose public school. And now I was going to be living with them? As I watched my mom, who sobbed as if she'd been the one cheated on, something shriveled up inside of me. I would never be like my mother. Never. And sorry, Jeff, but that meant he wasn't going to be getting laid by me for a very long time. However, after I spent most of the afternoon and evening packing my things, he wasn't excited to hear my change of plans when Lydia and Jessica waited for me to go to the party that night. In fact, he'd been a jerk. Not surprising. There were a few choice curse words, a few beers guzzled, and he wiped his mouth clean of me. "I'll get someone better, bitch. You're not the only hot chick here." And off he went. His jeans rode low, a beer in hand, and his hair gelled into badass spikes. I rolled my eyes and went in search for my friends. Heaven help me, but Jeff would be back. I was at the point where I wasn't sure if I cared or not. An Escalade wheeled into the slot beside mine. At first I didn't pay any attention, lost in all my world-ending daydreams. But when someone shouted, all my attention snapped back to reality. 4 boys spilled out of the vehicle, and 2 passed by me. I sucked in my breath. "Fuck that, man. Let's go to Molly's instead." One boy laughed.